Welcome to the Predictive Playbook for Tuesday afternoon. This is the recap portion of all of our shows where we kind of summarize all the knowledge and wisdom that we gained during the day, talking to other people, talking to media outlets, talking to just about anybody that will talk to us. And believe me, I have to fight my way to get somebody to talk to me. But I have my two partners here, co-hosts Rob Vino and Tony Finn of Wager Talk with me, so this will make it much, much easier to dive into the sports card for the Tuesday night best bets. And we will have an appearance by Ira Silver, a friend of mine from Miami Beach, and he lives an impoverished life being in Miami Beach, so we have to be gentle with him when he comes on the show. He has a dog named Gretzky, so he knows hockey pretty good.
On the beach?
Miami Beach. I think it's called Miami Beach.
I don't know.
You can ask him when he comes on the show.
I will. I'll ask if they have any small flies. Does he have to wear a net in his hammock when he sleeps at night? I don't know.
Does he know Joe Ranieri?
Not yet. I've kept him pretty shielded.
Yeah. Well, I got some buddies who live down in the non-extradition country, down there by the equator. And they sleep in the hammock on the beach, and they got these little flies. It's a mess, but you got to do what you got to do.
Well, I'm gonna do the Wager Talk NBA angle of the day since you guys didn't see it, and I think these things are 6-1 the last 7. So maybe we should make the angle of the day a guest.
A guest.
Yeah, we'll have another window over here, and we'll just have it. The Wager Talk angle of the day will be like human.
Yeah, because yesterday
bad
you took
idea.
up all 3 windows.
Angle of the day can be anything. You can convolute this angle of the day so you can put so many corners and on it that I'll just be left behind. And then
I know our dear friend.
Where did they eat lunch today?
Well, sometimes that data is convoluted. I learned that word from you. Oh, look at that. He's got the golden arches. Do you know how many calories are in that? It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all.
Then that makes it good.
All right, so here we go. In all seriousness, the NBA system of the day, which I do know our dear friend Joe Ranieri does love these slides. I mean, he really does. He complained about the font size being too large. I reduced it.
He's a
so now guy. It looks good, right?
Yeah, he's a paint by numbers
guy.
This one likes slides, pictures.
This one is good. This is one of the best ones in the database of several thousand, and I'm sharing it with you two folks in the chat room. So tonight, Brooklyn visits New Orleans, and the first parameter here is you're going to bet on home teams that are revenging a double-digit loss. Embarrassing loss, right? And now they're at home, and this host is coming off 2 embarrassing road losses installed as favorites. So it's embarrassing because they were favored and supposed to win, but they lost. Over the past 10 seasons, 10-3 straight up, 11-2 against the spread for 85%. Over the last 5 seasons, 9-1 straight up, 9-1 against the spread.
I'm interested.
And my math comes up to 90%.
Wow, I'm interested in this.
And you know what else is kind of neat? The Pelicans are favored.
Yeah, and that's because Tony Finn is starting at shooting guard for the Nets tonight.
Is he a call-up?
Is long.
Huh?
Is he a call-up?
How tall is he? He's not a call up. He's a two-way. He's a two-way washed up D-leaguer. Here's the question I have is: so you're saying that the Pelicans were supposed to be favored?
No, the Pelicans are favored.
Huh?
They are favored tonight.
They are. Yeah, they
Yes.
are. They've been there. Yeah, but it says here the host is coming off 2 embarrassing road losses installed as favorites. Okay, so I get it. I took that as they were favorites and got embarrassed. on the road.
Well,
We
that's
know
what happened.
we know the Pelicans have not been favored on the road, so that was.
It's 2 games previous.
I have this play.
They started as favorites,
tonight.
and they got killed.
I do. I have this play tonight. You know what I named the play? You know what the title of the play is?
I don't even want to guess.
It's called the Hookah Lounge Lie. Because today is 420. So all the titles
do you have a publicist?
The Hookah Lounge Lie, huh?
You must come up with these words. I mean, convoluted was the last show, and now what was this word again?
Hookah Lounge.
The Hookah Lounge.
Hookah Lounge Lie. It's called the NBA East Hookah Lounge Lie. No, it's a NBA Hookah Lounge Lie because one is a Western Conference team, but that doesn't matter. I mess that up all the time. Yeah, it's a Hookah Lounge Lie because it doesn't matter who's starting in New Orleans. The Pelicans, who went into New Orleans about a month ago or 3 weeks ago and embarrassed the Pelicans with I think without 3 of their starters. I'd have to look it up, but it's hit me upside my head.
I can look that up. But I thought it was Milwaukee actually, but I could be dead wrong. But whatever the case is, the play is the Pelicans tonight, and there's no arguing it.
And I haven't taken time to do my write up yet. Or I haven't edited it and inserted it. But essentially, when I name a play a Hookah Lounge Lie, I've never named a play a Hookah Lounge Lie till tonight, but I did, and it's a lie. It's a wrong. It's a false favorite. Yeah, but
you're against me.
Well, I am. I didn't know you were on this, or I would have immediately gone in reverse, changed my ways.
You don't watch the NBA Wager Talk show?
Do I? Is there one?
Yeah.
I know that I do about once a week, but I didn't even know it really aired. I just thought it was something we all met and screwed around and had a couple of beers and talked about the NBA.
Yeah, for your sake, I hope Jerry Springer's show is not on the air anymore.
If it goes live, Joe is impossible. I'm going to have to give him some. I mean, he's an absolute. He's been divorced 20 times. From his.
Well, that's nothing in Vegas.
Colleagues.
From the same.
I mean, that could happen in a day.
Well, yeah. No, I was married.
From
my
what I
first
hear,
wife and I were married one day. It's another story in my book.
Was it a good day?
I'll sign a copy. Was it a good day? No, it was a miserable day. That's why it was only one day.
All right, so waiting in the wings here, we have a friend of mine that I'm going to introduce you to, and I realize this is with risk. But you promised me, especially Tony Finn, that you would, no hazing unless it's warranted. Actually, you can haze him. He's a pretty tough guy. He's a hockey guy.
I didn't know the caveat.
Like I said, he did pretty well in the circuit contest, but not as good as Vegas Chris did. But he's been tracking him for a while here, and I don't know all that much about hockey, and we don't talk hockey all that much here on the recap show because I guess we're too busy, drinking IPAs or something. Yeah. But I'm going to bring him on here, and I think you're going to find him quite interesting, and he may not say much, but the results speak for themselves.
We'll make up for what he doesn't say.
Well, that's true. I told him it'd be 10 minutes, and he'll probably be on the show for an hour. But anyway, I'll bring him on here. Hey, Ira, I don't know if you could hear us in the off stage there, but this is Rob Vino and Tony Finn, the gentleman I was telling you about. They're Wager Talk. They've been on Wager Talk longer than Wager Talk's been around. And, just watch out for the guy to your left. To your immediate left is the guy to be careful because he types and makes noises while new guests are trying to get their thoughts together.
Totally.
And then he goes,
"Hey, Rob. Hey, Tony. How you doing?"
Ira.
Good, Ira. How are you?
Doing well.
And then because of his age, he pretends to do this. And that's what he does. But anyway.
I'm all right. I'm all right with the hazing. I was in a fraternity in college, so I can handle it.
Well, we promised to be much worse than that ever was.
I look forward to it.
Hey, I forgot to send the email on that one, Tony. I'll get it to him tomorrow.
Make you wear one of those little ball cap they put ice cream in and do some things that just shouldn't be on even YouTube. So we'll pass on this.
So for the chat room, if you guys haven't followed Ira, he's on every day with me at roughly 4 o'clock, right before I start this one. So be sure to watch him because he does very well in the NHL. There's going to be losing days, but of the people I know that do NHL, our comrade over at Wager Talk does amazingly well, and this guy is right with him, neck and neck. So I don't know two better guys in NHL than those two. So Ira, let's give Rob and Tony an example of how we did the show yesterday. You named the game. I'll give the preview, and then you can take it from there with the betting lines, which I can tell you because I have the odds up already. So which game do you want to talk about first?
Yeah, just to recap yesterday, we nailed the Oilers. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Even though they were losing early, never in doubt for me. And then we pushed the over of 6 in the Ottawa game. Some people that follow the show got 5.5, laying some juice at -125. So if you got that, it was a 2-0 day. Otherwise, 1-0-1. And we nailed it right on the head yesterday with the NBA play that one of the audience members asked us about. We gave out under in the Jazz game. So Jazz Lakers.
Jazz Lakers, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of ours on this show as well. And I wasn't leading the witness either. In fact, I don't even think I talked about that game. But
no,
yeah, that was a good call.
You abstained from talking about it.
Yep. And we also had, Rob, I think 223.5 under, 205.5 over in the Lakers game. The under had to hit first before the over would be valid, and neither one got hit. It started out very, much slower than we thought, and that 223.5 was never threatened as an opportunity to bet under. So the in-game bet was a non-event. So
like that in-game live.
What's that, Tony?
I said I like it. The NBA in-game live is one of my favorite desserts.
It's so akin to.
The only thing I do is try to get my 10-point middles, and every night those are opportunities you can grab.
Yeah, I mean, I barely play NBA pre-flop anymore. I just wait for a good opportunity because there's so many in game. It's unbelievable.
You're right. It is.
Yep. Like my simple one. Let's say, the Pelicans are playing the Nets tonight. We like the Pelicans, right? So if the Nets run off 10 in a row with no answer from the Pelicans, you bet in-game as long as it's not -120 vig because I'm anal about that and I'm not going to pay anybody -120 for anything. So if I don't get it, I don't get it.
I will too.
You know how it works, Tony. The lines will change. I mean, you don't have to force it, right? Like, oh my God, they scored 10. I got to bet. It doesn't work that way. You got to be a little patient. But watch that tonight in the Pelicans game because the odds are pretty high that game will have Brooklyn ripping off 10 in a row, and that's a good way to do it. But don't bet 100% of your bet and then 100% in game because the Pelicans are not playing the way we said the way we thought they were going to.
I'm not going in-game live with you because you're not having any fun at all.
I'm not?
No. You have to. You got to step outside the box. In-game on Tuesdays. Tuesdays is Degenerate Tuesday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Tonight we do anything we want to.
Yep, I forgot. It's Degenerate Tuesday, Ira.
That's right.
It's a perfect name for the show because I'm number one degenerate here.
One day a week, you got to play. You got to get that out of your system.
Absolutely.
It's not that you're. It's not. What is it? There's not. You're a bad. That you're addicted to the game. You're just a bad gambler. You just have to get better at it.
when you're a bad gambler, you still should be proud about it.
Well, I think
in my
so
opinion,
too.
you shouldn't shy away from the attention it gets you. There's a lot of guys out there on the internet that people fade. They deliberately go to the website and they know they have a winner.
Hey,
I hate to be negative, but
I'm okay with that. If there's a guy that is going to go 0-9, that's just as good as finding someone that's going to go 9-0.
It's better actually because it's better.
Too.
There's a guy on the internet that I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Twitter account, The Sharp Plays, but he always posts about this guy Poison. This guy's like an all-time horrible bettor. He's like just awful at every sport. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like the guy that's advertising he's 18-0. I'm buying him immediately and I'm fading him every play. Moving forward.
Yep.
I will say this in all honesty, and I try to say this respectfully because we're on a live show, and it's the right thing to do. Covers.com. I know I said a curse word just there, but anyway, Covers.com has that contest for picking 25 in a row, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm pretty good at creating databases. So I created a massive database now over the years of that contest, of that leaderboard. And when you have to hit 25 in a row to win, I think $100,000 or $250,000. One person's done it. And we know another person that did it, Marco, but it wasn't on that contest. But he did 25 in a row in baseball, and none of them were higher than minus 125 money line, which I still can't imagine doing. So very few people do it.
Is that 25 days in a row? Is that 25 days in a row with one?
No, it's 25 games. 25 games.
You have to do one bet a week. Yeah. But they will take away. They'll take away the minus 150 hockey games and above. There's no favorites like that.
They limit your selections, don't they?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. But if you look at that board when somebody is up around 15 wins and see who they're betting on, I have checked it when that occurs, and if it's opposite to my machine learning apps, I haven't even quantified what the percentage is, but it's pretty high. But you really can't include that in your research because I don't think people would buy it first and then realize you're a joker and never buy you again. But I mean, there's something to be said about hot streaks. I mean, we talk about hot streaks with the teams. And people get hot. Batters get hot. Bryce Harper is absolutely on fire now suddenly because I said that he was hitting poorly.
PEDs,
he heard it, and now he's got his act together.
Those are PEDs. That's not Bryce Harper.
Well, these acronyms, I can't stay up with them, Rob.
It's marijuana. PED. It's marijuana.
Yeah.
It's more. How marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug.
Well, that's a very long
get
acronym.
Right up off the couch and run a 100-yard dash.
Like the candy bar in your fridge, Tom.
Oh, yeah. No, that is an enhancing candy bar. Yes. Performance, I don't know.
But it enhances.
That's good enough. With my age, anything you can enhance is good.
Things start getting.
So if the Pelicans are off 2 embarrassing losses, they go to McDonald's and then do what you said, and then eat a Hershey's candy bar.
Yeah,
it probably would be even better result, is what you're saying.
Smoke
probably
a cigarette
10-0.
Damn it, smoke a cigarette.
All right. So Ira, hockey. I know you love hockey.
Let's do it.
Tell me which game you want me to preview, and then I'll let you break down the betting angles of it.
All right, let's start with the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right, so Carolina is on the road, taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning, which was a team that many times on this show we actually did talk hockey a couple of times because we thought that was a team that was just going to be the runaway, champion in the conference and probably win the Stanley Cup. But now it's in the hands of the jury, so to speak. But tonight at 7 o'clock, Carolina's 29-10, Tampa Bay 30-13. The goalies I have are Alex, and I cannot pronounce his last name, Ira, how do you pronounce that?
I don't know. I need a couple shots of whiskey before I can get into that.
That's why I don't do hockey.
Nedeljkovic.
My French stinks.
Alex Ned. Probably that's his nickname. 10-4. Goals against 1.92. That sounds pretty good to me. Tampa Bay counters with Andre Vasilevsky.
There you go.
Goals against 205. 27-7 for the season. And obviously he's a stud. Looking at the key stats, there's a lot of more matchups or a lot of more arrows pointing towards Carolina in terms of goals against, defensively, shots per game, shots against per game, opponent shooting percentage, shot differential, scoring efficiency, save percentage, and that includes all save percentage for all goalies in case there were subs. So all those headlines point towards Carolina. Goals per game. We know Tampa Bay is number 3 in the league in scoring offense. They're number 3 in shooting percentage. They're number 3 in opponent save percentage, too. So, Ira, take it from here and tell us who you like.
Yeah, I mean, I know you said Vasilevsky starting in goal for the Lightning, but I actually have the backup here plugged in Curtis McElhinney, who's 3-5-1 with a goals against a 3.48 and an 86% save percentage. That's who is expected to start in net. According to the sources I use, I haven't heard anything other than that as of yet. But so I would do an if bet, just like we talk about on the show. So I would wait. But this is an if bet. If McElhinney is starting in net for the Tampa Bay Lightning, obviously this line is going to move in Carolina's favor. But not only that, it will move in terms of the total, which is already what I'm seeing, over 5.5 shaded at minus 120 juice, which I think is the correct bet tonight. McElhinney's been absolutely awful in net. Both these teams play at such a high pace. And if you watch last night's game, which I did pretty much wire to wire, the percentage of danger chances that both of these teams get is just unbelievable. It's just out of control how many fast break opportunities these teams get. So for me, if McElhinney is starting in goal, I'll go ahead and gladly lay the minus 120 over 5.5. And if it gets to 6 at even money, I'll go ahead and take the over at 6 as well. And then I have a lean to the Hurricanes as well. I mean, I liked them last night, but I didn't like them enough to bet it. They fought back from down zero. They went to overtime and lost in overtime.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The market's not showing me that it doesn't. It's showing me that Carolina's backup wouldn't be in goal, would it? With Carolina's backup in goal, wouldn't Tampa Bay have climbed here?
Tampa Bay's backup would be in goal.
Okay. That's what you're talking about. Okay.
It will go from Vasilevsky, who's a phenomenal goalie.
I would say your backup. I would say that backup goalie. The market's pricing this game with a backup goalie for Tampa Bay.
Slightly, yeah. Last night it was the two studs. Carolina was even money on the road against Tampa Bay. Yeah. Tonight it's minus 110 both sides. That's what I'm seeing. And they're pricing it in. It looks like on the terms of the total. I'm surprised it's not at 6, but it's because the Carolina goalie is pretty much a stud. But I do expect Tampa Bay to get some high scoring chances tonight as well. Maybe put up a couple. I expect this game to be like a 4-2, maybe a 4-3 victory, Carolina over Tampa Bay.
Are Hanson brothers playing?
I'm sorry?
Are the Hanson brothers playing? That's who I want to watch play.
They're bringing their.
You were testing his age on that one.
Yeah. Well, that was about. I just getting out of high school. It was about 1977. 76 or 77, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Hanson, like the pop group that sings Mbop.
Oh no, they weren't even thought
That's
of.
That's one of Tony's favorites too.
I'm trying to grow my hair like them.
I think
my wife watches.
One of his wives walked down the aisle to that music.
Yeah. No, Slapshot. Slapshot, the movie, great movie. Paul Newman.
Fantastic movie.
Fantastic movie. Yeah, that's my favorite hockey game right there.
They watch Speed Racer on the road.
It's good stuff.
Ira has no clue who Speed Racer is, I don't think.
No, listen. I'll tell you a little story. I hate to interrupt this, but I got to choose the names. I got to choose the names for my kids, right? My daughter, oldest daughter,
God.
her name's Brooklyn Sky. She's named after the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Toronto Sky Dome when it was the Sky Dome, and when they were the Brooklyn Dodgers. Well, no, she's not that old, but my other daughter is Bridget Shea, and my son's Camden, and my oldest son. I had two choices: it was Speed Racer or Johnny Quest, and I got vetoed on both of those.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know. It's like they give you the key to the door and they say it's your house. You go in. No, you can't go in. No, you can't go in now though. No, you told me I could name them. Those are two choices. A Speed Racer. Now, my other daughter, she wouldn't take Ivy League. I said, listen, we're going to name her Ivy League. She'll get into school free. Nobody's name. No, didn't get that. So don't believe them. Don't believe
who
your
was
wife. Don't believe them.
Who was Speed Racer's girlfriend?
Bandit.
No, that's the dog in Johnny Quest.
Well, again,
Gee.
I'm thinking that with Johnny Quest, you probably tried to name your daughter Haji, and that's why you got vetoed.
no, I didn't name her. That was Ivy League. I wanted my son to be Speed Racer. I really did. Of course, if he hasn't got my DNA, it would be an oxymoron, you know.
Here's what I learned from Ira just now, because I don't handicap hockey. I don't follow hockey until
We know Ira's
but I
young,
learned a
and he doesn't
new.
know who the Hanson brothers are.
This applies to you, Tony Finn, because I learned a new analytic during that analysis there.
That's a big word.
Let me ask you a question, Tony. What are your percentage of danger chances every morning you wake up?
Well, as many as I can get, because I like to feel alive at my age. And one of the ways is to close your eyes and walk across the street, a busy street, without looking both ways. Stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I live for. Makes me feel alive. Makes the blood flow. Danger chances, a lot of them. Because I had too much mezcal the night before. It still has not left my system. There we go.
How do you know?
Maybe a mushroom,
how do you know
maybe a dosed candy bar. I got a couple of those, I might have walked in my sleep and got a couple of those doses out of the refrigerator. Hey, that's like a Hershey bar. That wasn't any Hershey bar. A damn Oregon dose.
So this is
bar.
great. In 3 minutes, we covered NHL. Ira doesn't know when he's going to talk next. And Tony covered health issues with the mezcal, and you don't know when it's left your body, which is very important to know, because I would like to know
Don't
that.
tell me how many calories in this thing, because if it didn't have calories, it wouldn't be any good.
It's probably as many calories as you bet a game in dollar amounts for a casual bet.
Okay. It is Degenerate Tuesday. I get to do whatever I want to tonight.
Your pizza money bet is
my pizza
equivalent
money,
to the number of calories in a McDonald's shake.
I don't have it.
See, that's another query. Calories in a McDonald's shake off a 3-game losing streak.
I would like. I want to know which team had catered McDonald's, because they're going to win. They're going to win.
I warned you, Ira. I warned you.
Love it. I love it. I'm glad I'm here for Degenerate Tuesday.
I mean, yes. I mean, like right now, it's almost like Rob Vino's coming across as our Tony's and my personal attorney to make sure that we don't say anything completely off the wall.
Well, I understand that even when I do the serious show, they're broadcasting in San Diego. I say a few things, they say, and I say, well, I'll look it up after the show. I'll see if I can say that shit. I'll say this. I don't know that I can say it or not. But how come you can't say ass? I mean, you can say ass, can't you? They don't black out ass.
You can say against the spread.
Television. Huh? It's a donkey. I'm talking about a donkey.
Oh, well, it's written in several publications that way.
Perfectly fine.
But you can't. It's an animal. You can say that.
Tell the guy that it's when I say that guy's it irritates me like a pimple on my ass. That's when they get mad at me and stuff like that. And they say, well, maybe you shouldn't word it like that or something, Tony. I think it's pretty entertaining. When somebody tells me I remind them.
You try to do analogies the right way. I mean, a pimple of that size would be very, very small.
I didn't say anything about size. Were you looking?
But I mean, a pimple could be 2 inches big, and on a human being would look like a goiter.
Or a goiter.
Or a goiter.
That'd be pretty.
But on an elephant,
and
an elephant, it could be a blemish.
Yeah, well, that's true. My biceps.
See the knowledge I have?
Could be a blemish.
Yeah. All right,
here, I have
back to the NHL.
I have $1 million question. Who right now? Who's the biggest surprise this deep into the NHL season? And you guys are all hockey fans, aren't you? You follow some hockey? You live in the East Coast, up there where it's still snowing and shit. So, who's the biggest surprise that are they're not only a surprise, but they're in form right now. They may be peaking at the right time. What team is that? What team is that?
The Phoenix Suns.
Man, they scored 84 points against this second leg of a back-to-back. San Antonio plays a four-guard offense. They're in good form.
Sorry, Rob. I didn't make us look good there on that one, I guess.
I mean, the biggest surprise for me is actually on the flip side. It's on who is underperforming significantly, and that would be the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
Rob, they're both Philadelphia. Those guys above us, they're Philadelphia fans.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
We're not Philadelphia fans. We live in Philly. We're sports fans.
I see. Yeah. Well, me, I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite team. I have a favorite team. Right. It's different every day. Lots of times every hour is my favorite team. And I have no loyalty to any team. None. Unless I got the mortgage on them. I have some loyalties to them for a couple hours.
Yeah, for me, it's whoever I'm betting that night is who I'm rooting for. I don't know.
That's my favorite team of all time.
What?
It's my favorite team of all time. Absolutely. Whoever I got money on that night.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody, oh, man, I've followed this team forever. They're going to kill them. Get them.
Oh, I love it. You want my thoughts on betting the mortgage?
I don't do well. It's relative.
When you're Ira's age, think about it. It's a dumb money management system.
Anymore. I don't have a
right. So you're betting nothing. So you can't even do it.
Well, that's what I keep telling. That's what I tell my wife.
Younger,
I'm betting
he might
nothing.
have a mortgage.
You're not betting nothing. I said nothing. I'm betting mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is the big. It's my annual Big Lebowski. It's the 5%er. It's the Big Lebowski. It's the big ticket on 420. On 420.
5%er.
5%er. Big Lebowski. Rob knows about
serious.
Big Lebowski. She knows about my garage studio. It's the iconic half garage, half studio on 420 Wager Talk Lane, where the infamous
Finn, where the mansions are.
Where the Finn Spencery resides. Everybody's welcome. Free smoke tomorrow in neon lights above the door. And they come back tomorrow. I tell them, yeah, I got free smoke tomorrow. That's tonight. Tonight's a big night. It's 420. No one should even be doing this show without at least having some edibles.
Well,
already.
I'm sure Ski is taking care of it.
Oh well, no, you can't even see him at this point in time of the day. It's the smoke is you can't even see him through the camera. The virtual forest fire.
I think Ski and I would get along.
Oh yeah,
they're both about the same age.
I think Irish got him. Well, I can't. I tell Ski all the time.
I got him over or under.
I think you got him over. Well, he looks Ski. You don't look 12. Ski
He's
looks
28.
12. I'm sorry if you're watching the show, but you look 12, Ski.
He's 12.
Yeah,
I mean 28. Sorry.
Yeah, he's 28.
Yeah, I'm old.
Is that what Ski is? Is Ski that old? He's an ex-civil servant.
Yeah. I was telling him the other day that my oldest son, he's as old as my oldest son.
Oh, my oldest is 30, somewhere in there, 30-something.
Yeah, he got to business earlier than me.
30-something.
Yeah, well, my mom and dad
I got Ski by about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, it was a good year. Which one, though? They're all good years. You know.
A couple good hours.
There was a couple that were 2020.
We had at least 20 good years from what he said earlier.
Oh, man.
I just hope I got another. It's a good day when I wake up. You guys know that's my mantra. I mean, I wake up. It's a great day. And I hope I got a few years left because I'm having more fun now than ever.
He's not kidding.
I got another hockey play for you, John.
I'm listening.
Yeah,
that's that I
was wondering why he was on the show.
I'm listening.
So, all right, let's go. I'm up for another preview here.
All right. It's the Rangers versus the Islanders.
Oh, boy, that's a rivalry.
That's a rivalry. I like that because I think both teams are from Providence. But go ahead.
Jesus.
I think the one's from Madison Square Garden, and the other one's
that's one of my plays tonight.
Long
Madison
Island
Square play.
Yeah, there's McDonald's right down like 150 yards from Madison Square Garden.
Well, that's too far.
Well, but this game's taking place in Uniondale, New York, at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah.
It's starting at 7 o'clock, so we better hurry here. There's only 59 minutes for people to bet this.
The people
so,
watching
an 11-game surge. 11-game surge by the Rangers has made the chase for the fourth and final playoff spot in the East Division far more interesting, even for us NHL novices.
Are you reading from a script?
Let's see, what else can I tell you? The win, their last win by the Rangers completed a 4-game series sweep of the New Jersey Devils, which is really close to where these two teams are located, believe it or not. Though it was achieved in an unexpectedly nail-biting fashion, the Rangers, who outscored New Jersey 13-3 in the first 3 games, opened up a 3-0 lead early in the second period before giving up 3 goals in a span of less than 7 minutes, bridging the second and third periods, and that's pretty hard to do. The Rangers.
Is all this
I'm John.
Does all this information help you make your decision on who's going to win?
It does.
Okay.
I love hearing what John's got to say.
Yeah.
I'm
listening because I'm
more than just a host. I'm more than just a host, right?
Hostess. You're the hostess with the mostest.
Yeah. Now I'm visibly upset. All right. So let me get down. Let me get down to the bottom. The Islanders are 6-3 since April 1, but each of their last 5 wins has been by 1 single goal, including 4 in overtime or a shootout. So they're barely winning. The Islanders were outshot 23-13 in their game on Sunday in the first 2 periods before generating 15 shots in the third period, which is a lot. 15 times 3 is 45, which would be way above the league average and any team average for that matter. And they did earn the win, getting 2 points off the Capitals. So, Ira, I appreciate you listening to my detailed preview. Now, for the meat and potatoes, who are we betting on?
All right. So, looks like only 39%. I mean, what I can see, 39% of the tickets are coming in on the Islanders here, but 64% of the money is coming on the Islanders here. And I tend to agree with it. I like the sharp action. I like the sharp movement. I was on it this morning. I haven't gotten down. I was hoping to get slightly better because of all the tickets, but it looks like it's moved the other way. I'm still comfortable betting this game, and I'm going to be betting the New York Islanders here. It's a perfect bounce back opportunity, bounce back spot for the Islanders. If this game was played 8 weeks ago, the Islanders would be minus 140 or better, in my opinion. The Rangers have been on quite a run. We all know that they can score goals, especially with Panarin back in the lineup, and their goaltending has been fantastic. I just don't agree with it. I think the Islanders have been sluggish over the last 10 games, posting a 6-4 record. Their goaltending has really kept them alive and in these last 10 games. I'm looking at back the Islanders tonight and hoping for a 3-2 victory.
I just played them as you were talking. I played them plus 1.5.
The Islanders?
What made you do that? I'm being serious now.
It's Degenerate Tuesday. I had some edibles before I came on the show, and I did what I wanted to do. No, I just did it just for it is Degenerate Tuesday. I do some things that are kind of strange, but I took the Islanders plus 1.5, and I had to lay the wood on that, obviously, but I did it. So I'm taking, and next time we're on the show. I mean, either Irish is going to get butt slaps or something else because he's got me on the Islanders.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of wood you're laying there, but
$350.
Probably very pricey.
$350.
Yep, that was going to be my guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on the Islanders.
It's a lock, right? It's a mortal lock.
Hey,
right.
I like to say that my picks are locks, but I'm not.
Well, mortal. We'll call them mortal locks then.
Mortal Kombat locks. Yeah, I like the Islanders. I like the Islanders at -120 here. I like it up to -130 tonight. So I'm going to be playing the Islanders, and hopefully the Rangers. It's John. We've talked about this before. It's a regression spot for both teams, right? The Islanders haven't been playing so well. The Rangers have been playing fantastic. I think this is really a spot where the Islanders make a move and get back to where they were in terms of their expected goal rate and their defense, and the Rangers come back down to earth a little bit.
I'm going to put this up on my screen tonight when I start doing my games. And if the Islanders score first goal and do it within the first 5 minutes of the game, then I'll do basically an alternative line, or I'll do an in-game live. I'll go -2.5 and get some in that situation. Well, even if they scored one, it's still going to probably be a small plus, probably a +70. But that's what an in-game live. Typically, if there's a team you like or a team I like, and I don't pre-flop in this game, in this situation, it's not what I usually do. But I have an idea of what I think how the game's going to play out, and I set it up so that I can get my middle, or at least hedge off the pre-flop. So, and of course, the games always go exactly how I expect them to play out, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But that's the fun. The in-game. I listen. I could do that all night. In fact, when I was doing the in-game live shows with Sports Grid, I really enjoyed those. But you have to be pretty dedicated, and it's a lot of work to prepare for a 3-hour in-game live show. It's almost a full day. So if you want to do it right, it's a full day's work just to get ready to do the show, and then be ready to act quickly. None of this relaxing stuff in-game live. Don't have satellite television, and don't stream, and your internet better be fast, or you're just going to be chasing all night.
I have a feeling that you don't relax that much, so it's perfect for you.
I do not. There's time. I will sleep when I'm dead. That's right.
Do you guys know that the Rangers played? This is the 4th straight game they've played New Jersey.
That's the COVID.
I mean, they played 4 straight games against New Jersey. Yeah. Now they play the Islanders, and they play Philadelphia. So I guess a lot of bus travel, but I can give you a pretty good system supporting the Islanders if you want to hear it.
Let's hear it.
And if you don't, you can just mute your headphone. But
I'm interested.
Here we go. Here, let me just scroll up to my sheet here. Islanders. That's here we go. Down there. So the Rangers scored 5 or more goals in their last 2 games. Both wins over that New Jersey team, which isn't all that good, I don't think. But anyway, play on home teams using the money line after scoring 1 goal or fewer, which would be only 0, in 2 consecutive games, and now facing an opponent after scoring 5 goals or more in 2 straight games. 30-11 since 1996. That's 25 years. 69%.
It's only happened.
28 units made. Yeah. You're playing against a road team, a visitor, that has scored 4 goals or more in 3 straight games, facing an opponent after playing a game where 4... Oh, that's a different system. Sorry. This is it. It's still 30-11. I read it right. Play on home teams using the money line that are scoring 1 goal or less in 2 consecutive games, facing an opponent that was scoring at will. Scoring 5.
How many goals is Will get?
It's 5 or more.
Okay.
Scoring 5 or more goals in 2 consecutive games. So, to Ira's point, the Rangers are prone to regress.
It's just such a perfect opportunity. It's just such a perfect opportunity here to fade the Rangers, and with all the public money, I love fading the public in general. So, and it just makes me feel a lot more comfortable, especially seeing the sharp money action on it. So, I'm happy that I identified it, and I'm not happy that I missed out on 5 or 10 cents of value. But hey, sometimes you gamble with that a little bit. So, I'm definitely playing it.
Any a third game, Ira? Do you have?
I do have an upset alert.
I love it. We all know that's my favorite play on Sports Memo.
Upset alert for Degenerate Tuesday. Why not? Let's do it.
Yes. What is it? What is it? Upset.
So it's interesting because I'm a big fan of the Florida Panthers in terms
They
of
won
their
last night.
Yeah, and their offense is fantastic. Their goaltending has been great. Dreiger and Bobrovsky, I barely know how to pronounce it. Tonight, though, is an interesting opportunity to fade the Florida Panthers. You're going to have a rookie starting in his first game, Spencer Knight. It looks like from my research, it looks like he was the top college goalie. But you're going to be facing Jonas Korpisalo, who has a higher goals against. His goals against is higher than you would think it would be. He's actually a pretty capable goalie, even though he only has an 89.6% save percentage this year. Listen, Columbus is feisty. They don't really let their opponents shoot the puck all that much. A lot of these games go under the total. So for me tonight, this is probably going to be a very small play for me, just because I like it. But not enough to really lay down a whole unit on it. But I do like the Columbus Blue Jackets plus 1.5 on the puck line, laying minus 135, and maybe throw a quarter unit on plus 180 for them to win the game.
I like it.
Parlay. Let's parlay it all.
That's what I was good at. I'm telling you.
I don't know if Dan's told you, but I'm pretty good with the hockey money line parlays. It's to the point where I don't even believe it anymore. My friends and my uncles, they're just like, I've never won one parlay, and I've never won one 16 parlay in my entire life. How the hell do you do it once every 2 days? Yeah. So
I've seen the tickets.
I play against the team that's dead. Very simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the plus 1.5. I'll probably play that for a half a unit and then a quarter unit on the plus 180, plus 185 on the Blue Jackets.
Blue Jackets.
On Columbus, play on road teams using the money line after 5 or more consecutive over results. 343 wins, 320 losses, last 25 years. 51%, but it's averaged a plus 140 dog.
That's good
enough.
It's
It's made the $100 better $8,000 over 25 years.
Better than Bank of America is going to give you. So.
Yeah,
they have played some overs, which is very interesting lately because they generally play under the total. This Columbus team. So that is very interesting. But they were up against Tampa Bay, Chicago, who can score a ton of goals, and then they lost to Dallas 5-1 as well.
I have an even better one. Play on road underdogs. Yeah, like BETTER.
Better. Oh, that kind of better.
Yeah, like a comparison. One is more likable than another.
Yeah.
Like wife number 20 was more likable than wife number 5.
It's only because she's younger.
Well, I don't probably. But play on road underdogs up to plus 200, but not over 200 on the money line. They're revenging a road loss to the opponent and is coming off 3 consecutive losses against divisional rivals. That system over the last 25 years, not many plays, 27 and 26 for basically 51%, but it's made $100 better, almost $1,800 in profits over that time period.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, with these big underdogs in hockey, like just to point out for everybody who's listening, like you're not gonna go 10-1. Like it's just not gonna happen. Okay, so as long as you're betting in terms of the money line where there's value, right? Like at plus 180, there's value on the Blue Jackets tonight. Like it's not even a question, especially facing a goalie who's never played in the NHL before. We have no information on him, and he could be eaten alive tonight by the Blue Jackets.
No.
That's all I got for hockey.
all right.
I'll tell you a story when I was a young man, and they made me do some radio about hockey, and I kept calling the goaltender Roy, and they said, "What goalie are you talking about?"
Patrick
Roy,
Roy.
Roy.
Patrick Roy.
And after the show, he said, "You know what? You're right. I don't think you need. I think we have enough for you to do. You don't have to do hockey." I said, "Thank you."
That guy was so good, though.
Yeah.
But you know what really is important on this show? Robert M. Tree got the trivia questions. The Speed Racer's girlfriend name is Trixie.
Well, that
And I know that's correct. And Racer X was the enemy driver that I guess Trixie had eyes for, and then Speed Racer would get mad and he'd have to go rescue her. I forget how that was.
Pretty eyes.
They were huge. Don't you remember? They were as big as like
cartoon.
yeah. Oh, that's right. It was. I forgot that part.
Yeah, all the cartoons.
John.
Yes, sir.
I got a question for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I will preface it with I'm not the greatest baseball bettor in the world. Okay, I do agree with the phrase you need a bottle of whiskey and a revolver when you're betting baseball. So I don't know if you guys even bet baseball, but I'm on the
sport in the world.
I'm on the Blue Jays tonight, first 5 in full game. Does anyone agree or disagree with me?
I will look it up.
Mr. John sitting there with his Red Sox hat on.
I would say this. Both of these teams. First off, both of these teams hit left-handers. That they're better than they've been in the past, especially the Red Sox. They're hitting the ball pretty hard. I would be on the over in this game. In truth,
I am on the over as well for 1 unit.
And that's what I would be on. I don't necessarily like a side in particular, but I didn't play it, but I would be on the over.
I'm on the over for 1 unit. I'm on first 5 Blue Jays half a unit and full game Blue Jays for a half a unit.
Rob might have an opinion. He's a baseball guru.
Yeah, I didn't play it, guys, but if I had to, I would play Ryu over Rodriguez. Rodriguez's first start wasn't really much to brag about, and Ryu's been tough.
I mean, awesome. Rodriguez is their best pitcher, so I'm glad to see it. He's their best.
And let's face it, I mean, he's their best, and Ryu is 2 steps above Rodriguez. So you're looking for run support. If you want to bet the Red Sox, you're hoping for run support.
Yeah.
And I just don't know that you're going to get it out of against Ryu. You worry about the Blue Jay bullpen a little bit. I mean, Merriweather's still hurt, right? I think he's still on the IL.
It's pretty hitter friendly in Fenway tonight. I saw there was a 10 to 15 mile an hour wind blowing to dead center and about 70 degrees, 72 at first pitch. So that's pretty good April weather in Boston.
And that wind direction, it does fly out of there.
Yeah, and he'll stay away, guys. I mean, Ryu's not going to come inside the right hand. Not going to throw J.D. Martinez in his wheelhouse. Ryu's pretty savvy as a pitcher.
Well, he did lead the National League and came to the American League, which I think that which is lowers his IQ, baseball IQ a little bit in my charts.
Yeah, but he was tremendous. I mean, that's the kicker to the whole thing. You go to the AL and you're just as good as you were in the NL. So, for a guy who had his elbow put together 6 times with paper clips and whatever else you want to have, electrical tape, he certainly has thrown well for 3 years, this guy. So I didn't play it. I would be on Ryu if I had to. There's been a little bit of line movement his way, right? I mean, I see some hits here within the last 15 minutes. I was staring at the baseball odds board. You can find him as a favorite at a stray offshore at most places now.
So I don't have to look it up. Rob, what's the number? What's this minor league park that Toronto's playing in? I need to know. Do you know off the top of your head what's the total number on that park right now?
It's in Boston
in terms of
tonight.
Seats?
No, I'm talking about. It just brought me to my attention. I didn't want to look it up, but I need to write that down. Do you know off the top of your head?
You mean the stadium in Tampa Bay?
Exactly.
No, he means the stadium in Dunedin where Toronto plays.
Dunedin.
But they're not.
Don't mispronounce it. Do not mispronounce Dunedin. To anybody that's from Dunedin.
It's in Boston, isn't it?
Yeah, tonight's is, but no. I apologize. I got off track there, but
It's in Boston tonight.
I want to know the number right now of this Toronto, this minor league park. They're playing in. This is the second year in a row. It's been a different park. Last year they said, the metrics and the analytics on that stadium in Buffalo that it played as close to a major league park as any minor league park. Well, it went over in that 60-game sprint last year that we had, in baseball. More than
I am actually spending time looking this up for you, Tony.
Thank you.
Didn't someone hit like 3 home runs or 2 home runs in the last game there?
Yeah.
And then one more game I had a question about. Maybe you guys can help me out here. This is John and I. We've talked about this before on the show. It's fade Wainwright. Any thoughts?
Always fade him. This guy should be retired already, and he's his surface numbers. What do you see on the mirage that is an ERA and wins and losses? I'm on the other side of this. I'm on Corbin tonight. I'm all in.
Corbin. I like it too. I was just I wanted a little pat on the back before I went out.
Pat on the butt. They win. You're gonna get a pat. You're gonna get butt slaps.
Love it.
All right. So 2 things to play the other side of that game. They just put Juan Soto on the DL, so he's taken out of the lineup, so you won't get Soto.
Okay.
And Patrick Corbin's velocity was down 4 miles per hour last game. He got absolutely hammered. There's something wrong with that guy, so I wouldn't run with Corbin as of yet. We'll see. But I saw his fastball clocked in at 89 miles per hour high last game.
I'm betting if you're pitching for Washington tonight, I'm playing Rob Vino.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I go to one of those.
Not saying much because Adam Wainwright's the other pitcher.
Rob, do you say Juan Soto's out of the lineup?
Yeah, he's on the DL. It just happened about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay.
They replaced him.
All right.
Soto was in the 2-hole, and now it's Josh Harrison. The revised lineup has Josh Harrison in the 2-hole.
Now I see it. Okay. Yeah. So we're still fading Wainwright, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Tony is.
Yes.
I don't want to get lumped in that category.
Oh, I'm on the. It's my only future. I have under 86.5 on Cardinals, and I have a one-way ticket every time Wainwright takes the mound. The one-way ticket is all in, no matter who it is.
All I'll say about baseball, and I'll leave the baseball alone unless you guys want to talk more about it. I'm just happy I bet the Blue Jays last night in the overnight line. I just saw the line move.
Yeah, they're favored across the board now.
You list pitchers? You list your pitchers?
Did I list my pitchers? Mm-hmm. I will tell you right now.
Tony, to your point about Wainwright in that game against Corbin tonight, right?
Yeah.
So Soto gets pulled from the lineup, and the total gets hit universally across the board, taken down from 9.5 to 9. It's probably still a good overplay with both of those guys on the hill.
It is. Soto's not worth a half a run. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean you're betting against Wainwright. I'm saying I would be betting against Corbin, so it just seems like we both think both sides are going to score.
Well, I will say this to you. And that is, I don't trust. First off, it's a mirage. You look at who has the best OPS. We're young. We're early in the season, but the Cardinals look like the Bronx Bombers of 27 Yankees. If you look at their numbers, and it's such a mirage because if I tell you who those pitchers, the left-handers, the best left-hander that St. Louis has faced this year is is a relief pitcher named Doolittle. You know who Doolittle is. I mean, that's the best left-hander they've faced. So it's a mirage, and I'm fearful that I really like Corbin. I know his velocity's down, but I like what I saw. I think it's habitual. I think it's routine for him. He's never good early, and I think that that's why I didn't play the over, is because I think he can do a 6 or 7 in a number on the Cardinals.
I know.
Over.
What?
I know.
If you liked over for the first 5, just betting against both of these starting pitchers, is
it 5 or 4.5?
There's one square shop giving us a 4.5 right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Wow.
I mean, they're not gonna. But yeah, you can get it 4.5. So if you have an account there, I won't
see
mention the name, but.
Oh no, I still see 5.
Who is that, Rob?
Well, I don't like giving out offshore names on the.
Yep, I agree. So. I should have known better.
But if we all go to our wager talk odds screen, we
initials.
Bookmaker is his initials a bookmaker. That's not.
Bookmaker's
that's not considered a square shop anymore, according to most people.
No, and it's not bookmaker anyway.
Yeah.
There's 5s everywhere except for one place that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
I'll try and find a few more spots here to see if I can find another 4.5.
I still see 5 everywhere.
I think, guys, I don't. Here's the deal. I know that they're 5-10. I know this is the worst start they've had in a quarter century or forever, it seems like. But when you moved talent from Pittsburgh to Yankee Stadium, you gave him a second life. He's throwing about 97, 98 in command and stuff. What a great price, $120 on the Yankees tonight. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody tells me. Right now, that's a great price.
I agree. You know why?
We were talking about that last night.
What's that?
Ronald Acuna out of that lineup is, I mean, this kid's hitting 440. The rest of the team's hitting about 220.
No doubt about it. Absolutely. And Morton, listen, I love Morton. I'm a big fan of Morton's. Right. He's gotten better with age too. But that 2019 98 mile an hour fastball that he was spotting down the zone it's softened up a little bit.
We haven't seen it yet.
No.
Do you like the Yankees?
I do. At $1.20, man.
I see cheaper.
Do you? You see cheaper than that too? I'm just glancing at the wager talk live odds for it. I'll tell you what somebody I really liked, and they postponed the game, guys. I really liked
Fulmer?
Detroit's first look at Tyler Anderson. I really liked the under 8 in that game. And it's to open it. When I saw the 8.5 last night, I said, man, I'm gonna shoot myself tomorrow morning for not playing this now. Well, I wouldn't. It's been postponed, but it's you got Anderson and Fulmer, and this total dropped a run at a lot of shops, which is that's unheard of, with guys named Anderson and Fulmer. But that's
Fulmer.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the best pitcher in baseball right now that nobody's talking about?
Fulmer?
No.
Corbin Burns.
The guy from Milwaukee.
Well,
ding ding ding.
It's pitching tonight.
We know who Burns was. We knew that. Musgrave's better than He got some balls up yet. He gave up 3 home runs, but when you pitch for Milwaukee or pitch for Pittsburgh, for that matter, it's more than your skill set. It's an attitude. When you go to the mound for the Yankees, supposedly the best hitting team in baseball, or you go to the mound for Pittsburgh Pirates, who are offensively challenged in every way, shape, and form, you're just a better pitcher before you even throw a pitch.
Tone, that's Garrett Cole, not Corbin Burns.
Oh, well, he has the skill set. That's true.
They sound similar.
Cole couldn't command it and couldn't, But
last night in that series, Milwaukee, San Diego, I took a shot with Brandon Woodruff first 5 against Joe. Jesus, I'm missing his name now.
Musgrove.
Just thinking that Woodruff for 5 innings might be able to outpitch minus half a run, small plus price. They win 2-1 first 5. Today, right back with Corbin Burns, first 5 against Paddock, and he gets 15 cents in the deal. And then Tatis is not even in the lineup.
Yeah.
So hopefully Burns can keep going.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Paddock has been hit or miss for the
better part of he's gone from that's in his head a little bit too from being he was the number 1 last year due to injury, and then you start this year as the number 4, and he struggled for the most part. He underachieved according to most pundits last year. Paddock did so. I like him. He's young. Sometimes we expect too much from kids that are my age, 22. 21.
When they come out of the box the way he did so good and the expectations get that high, then the COVID year happens and he's not as good.
No. Yeah.
Even the manager said it's in his head. It's between the ears.
If I ever hear anybody, and I hear it all the time, you'll hear somebody say, "What's wrong with that kid? He got paid that much," and I just stop them in the tracks and say, "Listen,
makes me sick.
If you gave me $10 million when I was 21."
Right.
There was 2 places you were going to find me, or 3, in the ground, in jail, or in rehab, because that's what was going to happen. You give me $10 million when I'm 21, huh?
At the altar, you could have had 40 wives.
A wife when I got $10 million in my pocket? I don't think so. Maybe a harem.
That's a good point. Maybe you would have. Maybe you only had 10 then.
No, it's just these kids. We expect a lot from a 21-year-old kid that's still a kid. More so than when I was growing up. You grew up a little faster than you do nowadays, I think, just because we only had 3 channels. You had to walk uphill both ways to turn the channel on and off, and the TV uphill. But
true.
Yeah.
All right.
That's if you and your brother didn't break the thing that turns the channels, and you had to use, pliers to find one of the 3 channels, and maybe it's going to come in. Maybe you didn't have to climb up on top of the house and move the antenna.
Let me give you one I didn't get to yet, but it's West Coast. Go. Maybe I still will. Ohtani, he's on a 75 pitch limit tonight, right?
Yeah,
against Jordan Lyles. Yeah. So I may still get there with the over in this game.
Ohtani, I like it.
Yeah, right. Because his 75 pitches probably get used up by 4 innings. Yep. Go to the pen. He's hit 100, but he hasn't been great on them. He's not in the lineup. They're not going to let him hit tonight.
He hasn't pitched since what, 4th? And anytime you get a pitcher
April
like
4th.
him, that's 3 weeks removed or 2 or 3 weeks removed from the mound without having, and he doesn't have true side sessions. He's trying to hit in the back, so. He can't be right. He doesn't have great command anyway. So I like the over here too. Yeah.
Agreed. Texas Angels over. Even with Texas' lousy lineup.
Let me tell you right now, this Brennan Miller is behind the plate. He's a kid. He's one of the young guns. Only has 20 lifetime starts. He has 20 lifetime starts, I think, behind the plate. He's showing you everything you see as far as the analytics and the metrics from him says, wow, this guy's got a bigger strike zone than they're asking him to have. Okay, it's not true. It's not true. He's got such a small sample size. There's another guy tonight, this Ryan Willis. Okay, he's showing the same kind of metrics, and they both have. In truth, they're both more pitcher friendly than hitter friendly. So, I don't like the fact that we have that K zone grading. I mean, guys like Vanover tonight. Vanover tonight is tenured. He can't get fired, but he's in that Washington game, and he's really a homer. He likes short games, so he has a tendency to give the home team an edge, hoping he doesn't have to, stand behind the plate in the bottom of the 9th, and he's not going to miss his plane.
Yeah.
Well, about umpire West, Rob.
Country Joe.
What did Philly fans think of West as a home plate umpire? Oh my God!
Well, they probably think more of him than Angel Hernandez. I mean,
yeah, true.
Angel.
Yeah.
Hernandez. But
Jerry
you
Mills.
look for,
Jerry Mills.
and I think we've talked about it on this show in the past. I'm not sure. Maybe we talked about it somewhere else. But in years past, John Hirschbeck and his entire crew under the total, especially on a getaway day. John Hirschbeck behind the plate on a Thursday was like going to your bank and withdrawing money.
It wasn't
because
it wasn't
they
just
want to
that.
get out of there. They just they used to, whoever could call the quickest game, the one who would call the longest game in a 3-game series would have to buy.
If there was a 5% chance of rain, Hirschbeck's strike zone increased 2 inches. Both sides.
He was like gold. You missed John Hirschbeck, believe me, because
I know. I like John Hirschbeck a lot.
Just too easy.
Jeff Nelson.
Tony, who's the rookie?
Which one? Yeah,
Tony, who's the rookie you were referencing?
Brennan Miller.
Only has 20 starts.
Oh, Brennan Miller.
What game is that in?
It's in Anaheim.
Yeah, it's in Anaheim.
I'm going to pull up the detail on him.
Okay.
Wow,
if you don't mind. And by the way, 5,909.
Which
sold.
line, Ira?
Sold.
That was the seating capacity of the Tampa Bay Rays in Florida.
I'm talking.
Not the Tampa Bay Rays, the Toronto Blue Jays in Tampa Bay.
I didn't want occupancy.
Vasilevsky was confirmed starter in the Lightning game. Line moved 10 cents in Lightning's favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why we had the if bet on the over.
Right.
Gentlemen, I'd love to stay longer, but I got to go home to my wife.
You're a good husband.
Not really, but
she's listening. She's listening, and she says,
"I'm sure she is."
That's my husband. That's my husband. See that other degenerate, that old guy. Well, his wife doesn't come home for a while.
It was a lot of fun, guys. Hopefully, we'll do it again soon.
Nice
all right.
to meet you, Ira.
Yeah.
We'll have you on again, Ira. Great job.
All right, let's go Islanders. Yeah.
And
you got it.
Good night. And gentlemen, I too have a piece of candy bar to eat and a couple of articles to write and some breakdowns and some mezcal and whatever else you want to throw at me.
I'm looking up this some part, and then we can call it a night. But why don't we just do the round the horn again for best bets? We'll start with Rob. Just real quick and sweet, 20, 30 seconds.
Best bets.
I won't put you on a timer.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, guys, but I think Corbin Burns' 5-inning line for the Milwaukee Brewers is a good play here. Minus a half a run plus $1.15. But been the best pitcher, arguably the best pitcher in baseball so far. Against a Padres lineup tonight that will be minus Fernando Tatis Jr. Paddock has not really found his way yet back to form, so we'll hope that he continues to just stay somewhere toward average rather than what he was his initial rookie year here. I'm going to take Milwaukee 5-inning line minus the half run plus $1.15.
I'm going to jump to the National League, a game that you got an hour still before it kicks off, against a team that defended themselves to major media portal ridicule the last couple of days. That would be the Chicago Cubs, that their offense is anemic, and if you look at their surface numbers and peripherals, it's anemic stuff. I mean, it's bad. Here's another pitcher that moves from the National League to the American League, or not necessarily. That's not true, but here's a pitcher who goes to a team that can allow him to be the pitcher that he is and wants to be, and that's a little more free flowing and pitching inside and a little old school in Walker. And I surely like Walker over a guy who's regressed since 2019 in Arrieta. And I think the price, $1.24. I know they're on the road, and I know Arrieta's he still has the ability to beat his peripherals, which means he doesn't miss enough bats for me. Not in this environment. And the Mets can hit the ball. The Cubs aren't scoring. So at $1.20 on Walker, I'll take that as my best bet.
Love it.
I love it
myself. Tawan Walker, just to piggyback on Tony, a guy who was highly touted and then was so often injured. His first couple starts, you watch. The problem to me, Tone, when I watched him early was he sat too much in the middle of the plate and would get hit. And now his stuff has movement, and I think the fastball's back to 97.
It is.
And I watched that first start, and I was like, oh, my goodness. I got to play this guy next time out. Played him last time, played him tonight against this lineup. I think the Mets might have, a lot of teams thought he had it in him, and maybe it's coming out of him now with this team.
Well, I've always liked him, and he was the one guy last year in 2019 too, when Seattle was just basically, they were dumping and diving and juking and jiving and trying to get rid of contracts. He would be a guy that I would play as a pitcher in Seattle, especially in that park, But they're playing tonight. It's or they play this afternoon? No, Seattle. No, I'm sorry. Okay, the park that they're
Seattle lost already.
They did. I know.
I just watched Kenley Jansen get the final strikeout.
Oh, not Jansen. They put that Dave Roberts is going to be the death of me. I'm telling you, it's going to be the death of.
We talked about that last night, Tony. I think. His stats aren't that bad. He's like what 2.3. Jansen, yeah.
Oh no, it has
he's
nothing
been
to
pathetic,
do with
but I understand that. But
it has
he's not serving.
Exit velocity of about 115 miles an hour on a 51 mile an hour curveball. That's bad stuff.
But Tony, if it's caught, it doesn't matter.
You're right. If it's caught, it doesn't matter too. And it's
all Moneyball stuff.
If I fall just right and I don't hit my head, I won't be a vegetable.
Or you get hit in the head with a flying baseball bat or something. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Or if my wife puts the wrong pellet load in the shotgun before she shoots me, I might live through it.
Oh dear Lord, you dodge more bullets than I do, Tone.
Ooh.
Unbelievable.
Well, we all know who I like tonight.
It's the
my best bet is the Pelicans. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm watching. It's Degenerate Tuesday.
I am going to triple down. It's Degenerate Tuesday, and I also will give out the Yankees.
Good.
The Yankees,
I like the Yankees too.
There's only we'll talk about this another show, but they're 5 and they've won 5 games over the last 15 to kind of start things out, and there's only 3 times it comes up in the database, 3 seasons where they had an extended troublesome period like this. And they come out of it just fine.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations where I might be playing the Yankees like 5 games in a row.
Yeah, why not? You remember 2019 when Seattle started 14-2, and I think they won less than 60 games that year?
That is right, 58. It was 58.
Yeah, whatever it was. They won they won 41 games in the last 5 months of the season. It was like, that's bad. It was really bad.
It's something you don't want to do.
No, it's not. Here's another thing you don't want to do. And you don't want to have to have knee surgery because you jerked too hard. There's only 16, 17 games into the season, and everybody's telling me, they're sending me these. Should I take this? Can I take this bet, Tony? I can get minus 120 that the Yankees won't finish above 500, and I want to choke them. I said, you really gonna you are you serious? 162 game season, maybe 160 if they get 2 games canceled because of COVID or something. But we're 16 games into the season, and they're 5 games that are 500, only 2 games that are first place or whatever it is. And you're telling me that they're not going to finish 500? I think they could. I think they all can hit left-handed. And unless you're left-handed, they can hit right-handed and finish above 500. But that's just me. I mean, regression to the mean. If there's one sport that has regression to the mean inside a season, it's baseball.
Did you have any thoughts on
the
Twins off of COVID today, Tone, in that doubleheader? Did you have any play either of those games? The second game is always hard to play early, but
yeah, here's the deal. I hate when I look at the numbers that they give. I'm so old I'm so things are so built into me. It's like I don't even play hockey, but I know this much. In 2 years, how do you go from 5 and 5.5s, where 5.5 is pretty much the median, to now you got 7s in hockey? What do they do? Juice the puck? What the hell's going on? Right? I don't know. But I don't like the fact that I see 7-inning runs or 7-inning totals. They're like 6, 5.5. And it's like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't play over. I can't play under. I can't do it. So it's just a mind thing, but I haven't played any of those yet, Robbie. Not one doubleheader, not one 7-inning game yet. I did in spring ball, I did, but I had a 4-1 spring. I only played 5 games all spring, but most all of them were layups. I love exhibition baseball. I'm getting $1.30 on a game. Probably should be $1.90.
Yep. You just don't know how long they're going to stay in the game. I mean, all the starters, all the position players.
I know pretty much. I have an idea. Yeah, we know. The thing is, it's all about who's wanting to win and who wants to get home early and what kind of plans do these guys have. It didn't really apply so much this year, but most of the time that's what it is. Umpires not wanting to miss a plane on a getaway day. Are you kidding me? It's huge.
Yep.
Huge. I never play over on getaway day. Never. I don't care if you gave me a 4 and it should be an 8. I'm not playing over. I will get beat. The umpires will have they'll have a strike zone 10 times larger than it should be, and everybody will be out. No matter what.
Real quick, guys, NBA. While we were talking, real quick, NBA. While we were talking, Tone, to your point, they are going to sit Kawhi tonight. Line's going from 8 down to 4.5.
I really like the Clippers tonight without Kawhi. With Kawhi, I like them even more, but I still like them tonight. But that's I played it. I played it earlier because I thought he was going to play. I saw no reason for him to sit tonight. So there you go.
Here you go.
I can honestly tell you that on Sports Memo, I have had 5 NBA plays posted early. And then there's a change like this. I've won all 5. Even though the player has been against me,
right?
I still covered the inflated spread.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to do that.
I don't know if that's luck or...
But I didn't release it until right before I came on the show. So it was an hour and a half ago. And we're still, I looked and looked, Rob. What is it? Just rest, right? Just taking the night off.
That's it. It says he'll have his sore right foot reevaluated.
Yeah, Tyrone. It's Lou, and that the cavalier approach they take to everything. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think it conserves legs and energy, and stress is an exhausting thing. Or if you're always nervous. So, but. That team just doesn't care about that. Listen, if they're on the floor and they're all playing and they're all active and they're all dressed, they're going to play to win. But they never panic. If they're ahead in the fourth quarter, they typically they basically will use more. If they're ahead when the fourth quarter starts, they use more of the shot clock than almost anybody in the NBA.
And, hey, we know they can shoot threes. It's the best three-point shooting team in the NBA with or without Kawhi. It says he's going to miss the next 3 games, just for reference. He's going to miss the next 3 games. And James Harden apparently had a setback, and James Harden is now out indefinitely. And the Nets' chances of getting these 3 guys on the court with each other to have some kind of cohesion before the regular season ends is getting less and less and less.
Yeah. I know this much. I trust Kyrie Irving by himself with 4 WNBA stars than I do the Pelicans.
Well, then, you know what the time is? It's Degenerate Tuesday.
It's not against John. Yeah, it's Degenerate Tuesday. It's not against John's angles. I would feel that way if John liked the Pelicans, I mean,
I do.
The Nets.
I do like the Pelicans.
That's all right. The bookmakers love the 2 of you guys tonight.
Yeah.
They're scooping up juice.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So I think, seriously, with that news, this is your last chance to bet the Sixers to win the Eastern Conference. That line is going to start moving over the next 2 weeks, like you read about.
Future board. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know if they're good enough to win the championship, but why not? And they play Phoenix tonight.
I think the
No,
Lakers
they play Phoenix tomorrow.
Lakers are in trouble as far as they walk a fine line anyway with their short bench, and they don't have any really quality bench. So, I mean, Harold's great, but they're a team that's really dependent on LeBron. They don't win many games. Listen, LeBron's teams don't win a lot of games when he scores 10 points. They just don't. So, go. What's that cartoon?
Speed Racer.
Gadget. Go Gadget.
Right? Go Gadget. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Speed
So
Racer.
you're talking about the rest here, and we can tie this show up in a bow in honor of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Who is 35 years ago scored 63 points in the loss, double overtime loss, 135-131 to the Boston Celtics. Mm-hmm. And I already sent this info to you guys, but the chat room didn't get it. The trivia question I put on Twitter in a separate tweet was, how many three-pointers did he make? The answer is 0.
Oh, no, he was 0 for 2.
He didn't make any.
He was 0 for 2. Yeah, he was 0 for 2. Which
no, he wasn't.
He wasn't?
He wasn't 0 for 2. He was 0 for 0. The team was 0 for 2.
Oh, the team was 0 for 2.
The team took 2 shots.
Oh, there you go.
The Celtics,
It's not very long ago, John. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, teams were only taking 10, 12, 15 shots from. Now they're taking 40.
Yeah.
But the Bulls took 2.
59 the other night.
Yeah.
The Celtics took 9 in that game, made 3. Bird was 2 for 5. And then last night, Steph Curry went off against the Sixers and made 10 of 17.
Listen,
the
that was a
game has
bad
evolved.
loss. That was a bad loss by the Boston Celtics last. This team, all of a sudden, they're just done. They're done.
How many times did Boston lose at home in 1986? Regular season and playoffs. And then we'll end the show.
Was that Havlicek?
No, it was Larry Bird. Havlicek was a little bit.
Was that Bill Russell
before?
Wasn't that Bill Russell's team?
JoJo White.
No, that was
JoJo White.
That was,
they won a lot.
That was 1886. This is 1986.
JoJo White was 1886.
1976, that game against the Phoenix Suns. That was a crazy.
Yeah. But the answer is 1. They lost 1 home game.
1 home game. Well, there you go.
How about
that's a meaningless fact.
How about the New Orleans Jazz? How did they do?
Well, when Pista was there.
I can bring it up on the show tomorrow.
Oh, I'm just saying listen. If it wasn't for Maravich, I don't think anybody would have gone to see that basketball team. So.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's like the Saints those years where they wore bags over their heads.
Yeah. They didn't put it. Yeah, it was politically correct though. Some people did. They actually would not cut holes for her eyes, so you can see. Just wore their bag.
Wrap
I gotta
it up,
go, guys. But it's been an absolute blast. I'm gonna go put my Pelicans jersey on right now. And
Good,
boy.
Good.
And spill.
Proud of you.
Every time they miss a shot, I'm going to spill something on it, and at the end of the day, I'll just hold it up in front of the TV, and you'll know who won or lost the game. You don't have to see a score. Don't even look.
Well, on that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow. I guess we're 4:45-ish tomorrow.
All right.
Because I do have an appointment at 6, so we'll have to get this in by 5:30-ish. But for Rob, Tony, and myself, and the Predictive Playbook, may all the wins be yours.
Thank you.